Hi there, I'm Denis and welcome to Physical Excess. Today I just wanted to ask you a question, and the question is, what was your first ever steelbook and where did you get it from? The only reason I'm asking is because as I was searching for my collection, I came across this Green Zone, and it was my very first steelbook, and that gave me the idea to make this video I'm making now and ask you, what was your very first steelbook? I remember going into HMV and walking down the aisles looking for the latest releases and the latest discounts, and those were the days when discounts were crazy good. Anyway, I noticed this edition that stuck out practically more than any other. I picked it up and I thought, what on earth is this? It was like this metal case. Obviously, it was a steelbook. And I just remember picking it up, feeling it, tapping it, looking at the front, looking at the back. And I just couldn't believe somebody made an Amaray case out of metal. My first thought is that this must be just some one-off special edition. I had no idea that there were other releases that came out previously, like Hero, which was the first ever DVD steelbook, and then you had Pan's Labyrinth, which was the first Blu-ray steelbook. So this was something completely new to me, completely surprised me, but I picked it up anyway. And I thought, I enjoyed the movie, so I'm gonna buy this. But I will admit, being this new physical media edition that I'd never seen before colored my idea of actually purchasing it in the first place. So I took it up to the counter and I just remember them ringing it in and it says £6. And I was kind of surprised because it was cheaper than Amaray's at the time. But it was my first steelbook, so I don't know if it was some kind of discount or selling it at a price just to get people into the idea of buying steelbooks. I just remember taking it home, opening it up, inspecting everything, to make sure there was no dents, and that was my first foray into collecting steelbooks. And I haven't looked back since. Well, not till now. Taking a step back and looking at steelbooks then compared to today, it's like night and day. The differences are insane. Just looking at the artwork on the Green Zone steelbook, they just used the standard marketing piece of artwork, including quotes from Empire magazine. It also had age certificates printed on this steelbook on the front, which may have been normal back then, but today it would be insanity. And the finish was really simple, just a regular white base finish that gave the steelbook this metallic sheen. And there was no real detail to that sheen, it was just an overall finish. And on the back, this is probably going to sound a bit crazy to anyone who's just started collecting or started collecting in the last 5 to 8 years, you actually got an image of a J card, including the bonus features, not forgetting the promo images and the age certificates. And it seemed like it was almost like a prototype to what was to come. Fast forward today and steelbooks are something different entirely. You have artists creating fantastic illustrations like Orlando Oracina, Dorothea Taylor, Matt Ferguson and Matt Taylor, who make these elaborate, fantastic pieces of illustrations that take steelbooks to another level. Even finishes have evolved and taken steelbooks to the next level, because as before you would just get a normal white base that would give the steelbook an overall sheen. Now you get fantastic finishes like embossing, debossing, full gloss, spot gloss, and even glow in the dark, which has evolved the look of the steelbook incredibly. I remember when steelbooks were first released, and you didn't get many, but the ones that did come out were all mainstream or blockbuster titles. Especially when Zavvi got on board, you got steelbooks coming out left, right and center. And you also got collectors saying, why has this film got a steelbook? It doesn't deserve it. Because it's not a blockbuster and it's more of an eclectic movie or more of an independent movie, you got collectors complaining why it should have a steelbook. But nowadays, Steelbooks are practically everywhere. And I think that comes down to, I have to say, mostly because of Zavvi, because they embraced Steelbooks. And I would say they were the main retailers in the UK that really pushed the Steelbook market. Overall, when I first started collecting Steelbooks, it had this rawness to it. And it had this feel that made it stand out, and it was special in its own way. And I just remember collectors were starting to understand the appeal of these unique editions. But what was so funny at the time is you had the normal edition, which is the Amare edition, and Steelbooks were this special edition. But once again, fast forward into the future, now Steelbooks still are the special edition, but it's no longer enough. Now people want these boxed editions with art cards, character cards, and posters, which I have no problems with. I think they look absolutely amazing. From my first Steelbook till now, I don't think I've ever looked back. And I'll always be collecting Steelbooks. Well, thank you so much for watching, and the question still stands. What was your first ever Steelbook, and do you remember where you got it from? Please comment below, like and share, and I'll catch you next time on Physical Excess.